Here we
We're
go.
here. We're doing it.
I know, we're actually doing it now. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Working Class Musician YouTube channel. I'm Jimmy Franklin, and today, in this series of interviews that I've been doing from the quarantine of our own homes and our own studios, I have the ultimate working class musician, Mr.
Nice.
Skrizzly Adams himself.
What's going on, guys?
Please
What's going
say hey,
on,
Mr.
guys?
Skrizzly.
It's good to be here. Thanks for having me, Jimmy. I'm honored to be one of the first people on your show.
Dude,
Honored that you think I am the archetypal or the quintessential working class musician, or at least here in like our state of New Jersey. So,
Bro,
cool.
The archetype's a great word for it.
Sure.
Because it's a little bit, it's oddly kind of outdated to see someone doing, the heartland rock thing and
Totally.
really
Totally.
making it their own and making
I
it.
don't think anyone else is doing it at all. I have. I mean, first of all, I'm flattered that you even put me in that category because that's like what I strive for. But I think no one is doing Heartland rock. Well, Heartland rock, first of all, is like a genre from the '80s, so it's like it couldn't be more outdated. I like to think I do it in an up-to-date way. I mean, the critics and fans will choose whether I'm doing it. I do think I do have some friends I know. They live more in the country space that consider themselves Heartland rock, and I have some friends that actually rap and consider it Heartland rock. But I like to think I'm actually making like 4-chord Heartland rock. You know?
Yeah. You still write all your music like
Totally. Oh yeah. No.
predominantly, but I mean like on an acoustic guitar or like.
Totally. That's actually a really good point. Like it's funny because it's like I live in a lot of different genre spaces, but I think so many people don't talk about like what is. I always say making music is going from 0 to 100, and going from 1 to 100 is just like work. That's right. It's the skill of writing. That's producing. But 0 to 1 is the idea of turning nothing into something, and that always comes from. For me, that comes from just sitting down with a guitar. You know.
Of course.
So, but whereas like a rapper, that moment comes whenever they're handed 20 beats and they pick the beat they like, and then they're like, maybe there's a flute or something in there, and that flute triggers them to be like, that reminds me of this, and then they write a lyric. You know what I mean?
Totally.
But for me, it's definitely like guitar is the starting point.
Yeah, and that's one thing that I've always admired in general about your stuff, because when you would come on the radio station when we do interviews a couple years ago, oh man, it was so cool because we would play a track of yours and
there wouldn't be a guitar in there.
There wouldn't be.
There wouldn't even be a guitar in it.
It would have a heavy beat and it would be so sick. And then
everyone's afraid I'm not going to be able to. Well, I know I've done back before quarantine when the world was a little more normal. I used to do a lot of like brewery shows and bar shows and stuff like that, and they were awesome. I'm super grateful to have done that, and I hope to keep doing it. But I think it would be a really funny thing where like fans would see it listed on Spotify, and like we'd have whatever like 50 people show up, all who've never heard me play before, and they're seeing me on a tiny stage, or like not even on a stage, like on the floor with just a guitar and a PA system. And the thing they always tell me after the show is they're like, oh my God, this is about to suck so bad. Everyone's sure it's going to be terrible. Like, there's not even a guitar in most of the music. I mean, there is, but like, it's just so beat driven and so production driven. And I'm like, no, I mean, if you strip it down, it still is just 4 chords of melody and some lyrics.
Yeah.
And that's definitely, I have to be able to check that box off if I am making a song. If I can't check that box off, I'm not doing it. So yeah, I'm glad that you recognize that.
No, I love it because
there's always tension in the air whenever that happens. It's like, how is this going to pan out?
Yeah. It definitely caught me off guard from the first time listening to you, and then having you on a radio show where you were like, you showed up with an acoustic guitar, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to play these songs. And in my head, it was like hearing that, like, I don't know. It was like Pitbull showing up with an acoustic guitar and being like, oh, I'm going to play my songs.
Yeah, no, totally. And I don't think Pitbull could, unfortunately.
No, and the cool thing is that in your music, it doesn't lose anything when you do that.
Yeah, I really appreciate that you think that. I like to think that too. And I think, and I think I mean, I'm grateful that I've done so many acoustic shows. Obviously, I mean, I think when I started, I wasn't that great. But I think the thing that I've been able to see is that I'm able to see the fans like just sing along as if it was an arena rock show with tracks and with,
of course,
like a Springsteen 11-piece band. Like
light show, fire.
Yeah, like it really is somehow able to. And I think I'm a huge Eric Church fan. I don't know if you're an Eric Church fan at all.
Not massive, but okay.
Yeah, but like I think a testament to Eric Church is like, so he's like he's I guess he's like an arena rock artist at this point, or you think he may be even a stadium artist. He's so big, and it's funny because he kind of flies under the radar. You think of him just as another country guy or whatever, but he plays like arenas and stadiums all the time. And his show, I mean, it's very different than comparing it to an acoustic show, but his show is like a 5-piece bar band. I mean, literally a bar band, and there's no dance move. There's not much. He just kind of stands there and sings. But I think what that all is the testament to the songs, because
That's exactly
the audience carries it. I mean, the audience is singing every word to every song. I mean, it is kind of like a Springsteen show where it's like everyone knows every word to every song, except Springsteen's like doing like dance moves and like running around like a madman.
Yeah.
Like, but Eric isn't doing any of that. He just says like, I'm going to let the music just kind of do the rest. And I don't know. I think he won Entertainer of the Year at the CMAs, so he's doing something right.
That's special when you can rely on that.
Yes,
right?
Totally.
And you're no different, you know. And it's
the goal, at least.
It's the goal. A lot of us, it is the goal. And
totally.
And it is very tough to achieve. And in the world of social media, in the world of TikToks, and in the world of now quarantine, everyone, you know, you see it all the time. You see people trying to come up with these gimmicks that get people in the door.
Totally.
And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that, because you're exploring your own creative space. But you are one of the ones that's gifted enough that, you know, or it has been given.
I don't think it's a gift thing. I think it's more of just the choice. Like that's my route. I think what you're speaking on with like TikTok and everything. And I'm not a hater because I'm not a victim. I've dabbled in it myself outside of my artist career. Is like it's a very high volatility time where it's like you can create an idea that just really resonates, and if that thing resonates, it can go viral. And I think whereas like an artist in my career, I've chosen consistency as opposed to I don't want to say gimmicks. I just chosen consistency. I don't want I think it's just like staying true to the brand, and like if the song means something to me, it'll mean something to the audience. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think of other, like there are other, I mean, obviously extreme examples of that are like the Grateful Dead. Like, you know, the Grateful Dead, they live in their own space, and like everything they do is true to them. Mm-hmm. And if it's true to them, it'll resonate with the audience. Whereas like, I mean, I'm very sure I could go out of my way to get a hit record tomorrow from an outside songwriter, but it wouldn't really feel authentic. And if it didn't feel authentic and it blew up, then it would kind of mess everything up. Whereas I'd rather write 100 songs myself, and if they feel authentic to me and I'm excited about them, I think whether it's 10,000 fans or that 10,000 fans turns into 10 million fans, they're all just going to be excited about it. I mean, there are so many cases like that. I mean, I think back to Bruce. Bruce is another example of that. I mean, he makes hit records, but at the end of the day, I think his B-sides carry him further than it. I mean, that's why he's selling out those big shows. Cause,
totally. And so now that's something that's special once again about your fan base as well. I mean, every single day I'm seeing posts of people getting your lyrics tattooed on them.
Oh yeah, totally.
You have a cult, Skriz.
For sure. Yeah, I don't know if that's a good term to use, but yeah, no, definitely.
Following. It's cool. Like just like the Dead, just like Fish, just like
totally.
It just so happens that Bruce's cult following happens to be massive. You know,
massive. Yeah. Well, I think what Bruce did really interesting was he made hit records simultaneously while having a cult following. So yeah, right now we're definitely at the cult following stage of the career. I know, like 20 minutes ago, I guess the end of the year, they do like the Spotify numbers, the Apple numbers for the fans. Mm-hmm. I guess the Apple numbers came in this morning, and like it's always fun to see when they say like I was the number one artist. It was like I was number one. They listened to me like 18 hours this year, which I don't know if that's a lot or not.
Wait. Back it up. So explain that again more in depth.
So Apple at the end of the year does like, I think it's called like a Spotify calls it a wrap up. I don't know what Apple calls it. And also, I'm not that popping on Apple. I've just started to grow there because they've just started to show love. So Apple, thank you for showing love. So they did a wrap up, and someone just messaged me this morning. Hopefully I get more. And it was just like, and it was someone I'd never heard from before. And they were saying, hey, like I was the number one artist they listened to. And
Yeah.
They listened to me 18 hours worth this year, so I was number one. And it was cool. Like Kenny Chesney was number 2. I think Kenny Chesney had 14.
That's cool.
And
man.
then number 3 was 21 Pilots, those are both Stadium acts. So I'm
Totally.
proud to say I beat out 2 Stadium acts. Even
Yeah,
though
right. That's got to be a great feeling in general.
Oh yeah, totally. But I think it's the intensity of the fans. Like I said, like it's definitely not normal for dozens of people to get handwritten tattoos, especially of an artist who really isn't that big. I mean, a lot of these songs don't have 1 million streams.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's more. I think it's a testament to the fact that they.
However, some of them do.
Well, some of them do. Some of
your songs do have millions.
But I find it more interesting that a lot of the B-sides don't. Or a lot of the B-sides get more of the tattoos than the hit records.
Well, those are the hardcore fans.
Those are the hardcore fans, and that's really cool. I know I have this one song. I think one of my favorite tattoos a woman got was, I think I have this interlude called Stars Align, and it's like 50 seconds long. And I will tell you, you make a 50-second song, it's an interlude with no chorus, it's not going to get streams or sales at all. Like, it barely does anything. Like a day, it hasn't made me goddamn any money.
But it made you happy.
But it made me happy whenever she got damn near the whole song tattooed on her forearm.
Really?
It's on the huge thing. And I was like, great, because I love this song so much, and I think I didn't have to fight. I don't think people were resistant around me, but people were like, why would you do that? And I was just like, because I wanna, like.
Yeah, you want.
I mean, it was definitely a song where I from a business standpoint, lost money on because it wasn't whatever. But I think, if people felt so deeply connected with it. Honestly, I was thinking about this yesterday. I think you'll get a kick out of this. I played that song on a live stream yesterday. It was like a really casual live stream. I was actually just practicing singing because I was kind of rusty. And that song is like the perfect, like, because I belt for so much of the show, and that's the one song I'm not belting on, and I'm just playing like these really quick moving, gentle chords, and I'm like, holy. Like I am so grateful this song exists, because when I am exhausted, all I have to do is just play that song and I can like recharge for a minute.
Yeah, we always need one of those in the set, right?
So like, actually, like, take it back. A, it's a great like fan connection thing, but B, it's like a live reset button. Mm-hmm. So it has its purpose. I'm glad I fought for it.
Totally. Even if you quote lose money on it, if we all just wrote things based on if we're going to make money off it or not, then the world would be kind of sterile, wouldn't it?
Oh, it'd be awful.
It would be like the music industry would just be kind of sterile or something. I don't know. It'd be like there'd be a lot of repetitive music or something.
Who would have guessed, right? Who would have guessed?
So
things would sound the same. They'd all be the same length.
Now that's a really important aspect, though, of your career that I wanted to bring up is the music industry aspect. Now,
totally.
Because there's not many people that have gone up against a major record label.
Sure, totally. I can't say I've gone up against it. I was just in it, and like I guess shelved is the lack of a better definition. I mean, I think the guy who signed me, I'll just say it explicitly so people know. I mean, the guy who signed me signed Hamilton the next week, and like Hamilton was non-existent at that point. Hamilton, I don't know if people know, is like the best-selling rap album of the soundtrack to it is like the best-selling rap album of, I think, the last 5 years.
Let's back this up so a couple people who are watching who aren't yet fans of you understand what's going on here.
Sure.
You had gotten the dream, bro.
Sure.
You got offered the contract. You got offered the deal with the devil, right? Everyone dreams about.
It was at a young age, and it was a good amount of money, and it was like creative freedom, and it was good stuff like that. I think the problem that happened was it wasn't that things went bad. It was just that it was the guy who controlled the thing thought it was best to do nothing. You know what I mean? And that was in his best self-interest, because what happened, he was brand new to the company, and he signs Hamilton, and Hamilton out the gate was a hit.
We can say the name of the company, right?
Yeah, Atlantic Records.
Yeah. It's Atlantic Records. Yeah, so no big deal.
But like, whenever you have something that's working so well at a company, you're viewed as like you're doing really well. And then you have an artist like me who hasn't sold a goddamn record in their entire life. Everything's a little risky. And the truth is, the streaming didn't exist at the time. Like, streaming just didn't exist. So
How many
Unless the
promotions
label was going to
did
put big money behind it, and they weren't going to put big money, he was going to put me out, and I was going to fail. And unfortunately, the truth is, that's what I ended up doing independently. I released stuff and failed, and did it again and failed. And 17 tries later, went viral. So it's like you kind of have to fail in order to it. But the truth is, if someone's concerned about their track record, like they're not willing to fail.
Yeah.
So
in that big business, right? When
in a big business,
America, it's corporate America of music. It's corporate America of art.
Yeah, like they're not willing to fail. And I found that really interesting. I remember we even had a talk. I was like, I'm willing to take the L, and like we don't need to do an album. Like I'll put out 3 mixtapes and grind it out instead. And we'll take the L's. Like we'll take the L's and we'll do this for 3, 4, 5 years. But I think like I don't want to defend anybody because I don't want to. But it's like I think they believed I could have done it. Like they wanted me to go rogue. The term was rogue. Like go rogue, just do it on your own. But there was just a big branding misconception. Like at the end of the day, like my demographic is like definitely working class America. Like my main demographic is like moms 25 to 35. Like hands down, that's my demographic. Whereas like I was the first person ever to like contribute urban music to Americana, which like just didn't exist. It just didn't exist at all. Now it's everywhere. So like everyone thought it was like a much more progressive thing than it was. And that kind of goes back to what you were saying. It's like, no, this is just 4-chord music on the guitar. Like as progressive as it sounds, like I don't.
It's the standard formula for writing a great song.
Dude, this has been the Creedence Clearwater Revival was doing this in the early 60s.
Buddy Holly, man.
Yeah, I was. This is nothing. I'm just using like the modern aesthetic. Like so. There was a amount of so they really believed I could have gone rogue and made things work on the internet in terms of like SoundCloud or stuff. And I was explaining to them, I was like, I have a few fans and none of them have ever heard of SoundCloud. I personally don't know how to open SoundCloud. Like, so it's not going to
wait. So back that up. Now, here's a great thing. How old were you when this happened?
23.
How old are you now?
29.
Oh, we're the same age.
Oh, nice.
I didn't realize that. So you were 23. You I guess in more or less, what are you? You were like the token young guy. Like,
no, honestly, I don't want to get racist, but I was a token white guy. So funny. I was the only white client. I'm just gonna get controversial. Why not? I was the only white client my A&R had, and I will say, being the only white client, I was the only one who didn't get released, and I was the only one whose face wasn't on his wall. I'm just saying, like. I don't know.
And so you have
the problem was I was surrounded by people who didn't live in the white person space, whereas I'm as white as they get.
You had like a little bit more of a draw on that one. I'm as white as they get.
Like I think I was looking at like a girl who liked a picture of mine and like her, and this is like so many of my fans, and like I was showing it to a friend of mine. I was like literally out of like the meme page Middle Class Fancy.
Yeah.
It was like a Middle Class Fancy meme. It was like mom of 2 beautiful boys, Raylan James, Kylan Jones, live, laugh, love. That's like all of them. Like
that's all of them exactly. There's your fan base. That should be like
that's it. Live, laugh,
when we
love.
go on Instagram and like if we're like promoting ads for our music or something on like social medias, and
if they got live, laugh, love in there, we're good.
I know. I was gonna say it gives you a chance to name your own section, like of what like of people that you promote to. Mine's called musicians and their girlfriends. But, so that would be yours. But like live, laugh, love. Those are the people that
funny.
Or infinity tattoos.
Yeah, no. So there was, but for me, it was like more. It was like like a lot of things figured themselves out, and it was funny because I got out at the exact right time. Because the truth was, an independent artist couldn't make a middle class artist as of 2020 can not easily. But it's very normal for a middle-class artist in music to make anywhere from $1 to $5 million a year, and no one knows who you are. You know what I mean? It's a very, very normal thing with streaming.
Of course.
So, like, I got out at the right time. By no means do I make $1 to $5 million.
How long? I know, right? How long did it take you to get out of the contract or get out?
That was very difficult. It took like 9 months.
Yeah, hey, whoa, hold on. Let's just say right now, that's a godsend that it only took you 9 months.
It only took me 9 months.
You got as lucky to get the contract as you did to get out.
Well, I will say this. I was lucky in the sense that where I had a good lawyer, and trust me, like the negotiations were so difficult. It's so funny because it's like, I wish people were just on the surface. And when people negotiated, they were like, no, we're not going to give you this, or no, that's not how I wish they were actually just jerks and like we're actually fighting. I wish we got in a parking lot and just got in a fight. That would just be easier.
That would be
easier. Like, it's not the way it is. Everyone's two-faced where it's like, Lawyers on the phone, it's like, we want X, Y, and Z, and they're like, yeah, sounds great. 3 weeks later, they send the contract, and it's not what we said.
Yeah.
And then we hop on the phone again and say, okay, let's get X, Y, and Z again. You're like, yep, you're right. 3 weeks later, they only chip away one thing we talked about. And we do it over and over again. And to the point where everyone's like, just leave. And I'm like, I can't just leave. Like, so it's like, so it took like just these 3 week intervals of just like, it's like, and I eventually got, when the beautiful thing is like, they gave me a large amount of money up front and I got to just keep it all. And I wrote 29 songs in that window and I got to keep it all. So I walked away fine. All I lost was time.
So you got to keep all the music.
All of it, yeah.
That's also, you know, like you lost 9 months, but you kept all your music.
No. I was in the contract for 2.5 years. The negotiation was 9 months.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that the negotiation of losing that much time, you lost time, but it didn't change the fact that you were writing music. Because when I had met you in the process of getting out of your contract, you were gearing up to start just releasing.
Yeah, no. Once I started, I didn't stop.
Artists can't do that. Think about how many artists like get out of their contract, and it's like, oh, cool. Now I have to write all new music for another God knows how long to put out new stuff.
I don't know. I'm kind of a tough love guy, so it's like, I mean, if you're out of the contract, just figure it out. You know what I mean? You can't write a bunch of songs like.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. But you had a catalog. You got out of the contract.
Yeah, no, I had a catalog, and the one thing I'm very proud to say is I always have a back catalog.
That is huge.
I have 16 songs in the vault right now. I have 16 finished, nothing's produced, but I have 16 finished written songs right now that I know I will release. And then I have like 12 song ideas. So I don't, if you ever hit me up and say, do you have any songs in the vault? And I say no, you can slap me across the face.
Yeah, there's going to be something wrong. We know we have to go.
At that point, I'm done, I think.
Yeah, right.
There's always like, I mean, I think I'm very lucky or blessed where it's like the one thing I don't write songs write me, and it's like I just always have heavy. I just always have like an idea for something, and I got lucky with that. I don't know. It's been
you get that feeling when it's like, oh no, something's happening that I have to do it now.
Yeah. It's just like I don't even feel like I'm doing it. I feel like I just like pick up the guitar and I just like So I'm big on improvisation. I used to improvise at the radio station.
Yeah, dude, it was great.
Yeah, I'm really big on improvisation. So for me, it's like everything's more about like. It sounds super pretentious, and I hate to say this. It's like method acting, I guess. So it's like,
dude, that's not pretentious. It is. It's improv, dude. Think about everyone throughout history who has improv, from comedians to jazz musicians.
Oh yeah, or like it's kind of like it's very much like Curb Your Enthusiasm. Like I have the emotion and I have the setting. So I have like the song title. Or for me, it's like that feeling when X, Y, and Z happens. I want to capture that, and then I just do it. And then like I mean, a lot of songs like you'd be like a lot of songs like the verses or the chorus, like all of it was just from that voice memo. I put out a song recently called Too Close to Fire, and the whole first verse, minus a couple words, whole first verse and whole chorus were just like one voice memo, like just verbatim, like never thought of the idea before. I just had the title Too Close to Fire. That's all I had, and then I just picked up the guitar and got really lucky.
That's awesome. So now let me ask you: you do production work outside of this, and I think it's pretty incredible. Your credits in general are pretty extensive, and that's another reason that I consider you to be one of the archetypes of the working class musician. For sure. Before we get into that, when you do work for other artists, contracted out work, production work, do you experience a similar feeling to the feeling of writing your stuff, where you get that same kind of inspiration, or is it more of a like it's time to do the job kind of thing?
So I definitely don't get the same feeling. It's definitely different. There's like, so I think this kind of goes back to the thing I was saying where if I make what I love, my fans are going to like it. So we're staying true to this like feeling or this brand or this vibe or this aesthetic. And unfortunately, like the other artists I work with, which I'm so like lucky and happy to work with, and I definitely resonate with them. They're not me. They don't have the same vibe. So like, this is the weirdest analogy ever. Like, this is so weird. I can't believe I'm even saying this. What was that movie? Austin Powers, like everyone likes their own brand. That's kind of the way it is with songwriting. That kind of is what it's like with songwriting, where it's like you get that euphoria in your stomach, like because it just really resonates with you. For me,
I love how you just compared your songwriting to fat bastard farting.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is, though. So I think I'm a big.
I agree with it.
I'm a big Pharrell Williams fan, and I think I remember him saying that so much of producing is reverse engineering, and I think when you're trying to write stuff for other people, you're trying to produce stuff for other people, you're trying to understand like what makes that artist tick or what makes them work or what their motives are, and also the political element of like what's going to make them excited and like what's going to make them say yes, like this is a good idea, Skriz, like I'm down, as opposed to like I hate this idea and why are you doing this. So there's a lot of elements that go into it. So a lot of it is reverse engineering. I don't want to say it's work because it is exciting and you still get the thrill of making music, but it's more like cracking a code. You know what I mean? You're just trying to like figure out what's going to make them tick and what's going to make them work. And it's like they've done. And I think one of I work with this artist, Chris Webby, who I'm the executive producer for, and I love working with him. And I don't do too much like actual production. This kid JP does, who's like amazing. But I do a lot of the executive production, just kind of. I think they call me like the bumpers, like in bowling, like I'm the bumpers that keep it from falling in the gutter, which is a high compliment. But we do a collab every once in a while, and I really like doing those because that's like a really unique case. And I'm doing this with a couple other artists that I really like, where I'm trying to come up with ideas where like I take what they do and I take what I do and I put it together. And in that case, you get the best of both worlds, where it's like I'm really thrilled with just doing what I do, and I know my fans are going to resonate. And then he does what he does, and his fans are going to resonate with it.
Well, yeah, you put your brand on it. And that's the difference in a collab, where it's a 50-50 kind of thing, as opposed to the reverse engineering concept that you just said. Because the reverse engineer, you're doing the job more or less, where you have to get in the mind of that person to go to the next level and give them the best work possible. You have to get in their head and go back from there. So, and that's different, where a collab, you guys can both be in your own heads and mash together.
No, that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. So and I mean, obviously we all enjoy the idea of a collab more, right? We all love doing those. I come from a background where I had a lot of exposure to the DIY punk scene.
Oh, nice. It's fun.
And so I don't know if I'm sure you're familiar with the idea of doing splits.
What does that mean? No, I don't know.
You never heard of a split? Like you do a split with another band?
Oh,
like a record. Like exactly. It's so funny. Yeah, I talk to people that do anything in the rap scene, the R&B, anywhere else in the music world don't seem to know what a split is, but in the DIY punk scene, you have bands selling splits all the time, and it's it's more or less an album or an EP where
both
bands. It'll be like half one band and half the other. And it's a really cool concept, which I don't get why it hasn't resonated more, especially now when people are trying to work together independently. People are doing collaborations. Well, it's like, if you're going to do a collab, why not do one song collab and then release a split where you both do two songs, and then there's the one song that's a collab on it.
It's a great idea. I've never.
You've doubled your exposure potentially, right? You've doubled the amount of people that are going to promote your brand just as much as you're going to promote theirs.
That's very punk.
I think it's a very it's very punk. I think it's very undervalued.
It's interesting.
Concept.
Yeah. That I will explore the idea more.
Yeah, I think it's a cool idea in general. And now, with us being so quarantined and we can't go anywhere and we can't play shows, you've been live streaming more.
Yes, definitely.
What platforms are you live streaming on so people know?
Just Facebook and Instagram. I'm not very good at it. I need to figure out how. Not that the performance is bad, just like the technology. I need to figure it out more. But
the performance is fine.
Yeah,
I'm not worried about that aspect.
But Facebook has grown for me rapidly through live stream. It's funny. I have my pockets. Like I have like certain times where I just lock in and do it a bunch, and like I do it like every other day or every day, and like the Facebook page just skyrockets. Yeah, I don't know.
You still got to keep it entertaining. It's like going on tour. Like if you did it every day, eventually you're going to lose some
Yeah,
traction. You know, play
I,
the
I
same
take some
venue.
I take some time off it, but I
It's
don't know.
healthy to do.
It's hard to get to. Sometimes it's a home run. Sometimes hundreds of people tune in. It's just like awesome. Sometimes it's just kind of dead. I don't really know.
Sometimes it's your mom and the bartender you'd normally be
Yeah,
playing
yeah, exactly,
for.
exactly. So I don't really know. I
And
really enjoy doing it. It's a really good way to practice vocals. I mean, I've been recording a lot, so that's like my way of keeping the pipes fine tuned.
yeah, keeping everything up to date. The
Hmm.
yeah, and your vocals can be heavy at times. You belt it out.
Oh, very, very.
What
Yeah.
and now so with the social media thing, you've recently had a credit on a TikTok song, I
Oh,
understand.
yes, yes. We talked about this. This is a great one.
Yeah, yeah.
I think so.
Which song and do I already know the dance to it?
You probably don't know. This is what we call alt TikTok. This is like the
Oh,
dark
yes.
world of TikTok.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! I
So
think
this
there's
is
a
not the
dark world of
mainstream.
TikTok, but I
This is
think this
the
might not be in it yet. But what? So go on. I've heard of this.
so I work with this artist. So I don't even know how to explain this in a short amount of time. I work with this artist called Bikini Bottom Feeders, which is like a meme page of like, I'm just gonna say, ass eating SpongeBob memes. It's just like about ass eating.
I saw that. I saw that.
So like we did a song called Squiddies, Tiddies, and it came out and it did pretty well on like whatever, not like well, but it was doing hundreds of streams, which is better than 0 streams. You know what I mean?
Of course.
A day, and so it was
Hey,
getting
be proud.
thousands.
Be proud.
And so I commissioned this cartoon video, and I don't know what inspired me to do it. It cost like $2,000, and I was like, let's just try this. Like it's doing well. Let's get like a cartoon music video made, and it's a fucking like acid trip of just like dirty Squidward with tits, and like it's just like 13-year-old boys' minds are blown. And I was like, when I saw it, I was like, I regret doing this. I spent the money, so there's nothing I can do about it.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just gonna upload it to YouTube. But mind you, we had no YouTube following. We had nothing.
Yeah.
We had this whatever Bikini Bottom Feeders page. So we upload it. Within 24 hours, it is on TikTok. Not from us, just going bananas. Within 24 hours, kids know where to find what they want. It's
Yeah,
so
yeah,
weird.
totally.
And then I had him. He's an anonymous figure. Bikini Bottom Feeders posted it on his TikTok, and it's blowing up. And it's going nuts. And we're doing like 30. It's not blowing up, but it's doing like 40,000 streams a day across all platforms, which is better than anything I've ever done.
Yeah.
So just like,
and you can't argue those numbers. You can't argue when you
there's-
have a number of 40,000 like that. You know.
I mean, it has like 12,000, I think, comments on YouTube. It's like, it's just going bananas. Check out the video, Squiddies Tiddies.
Yeah, I'll make sure to link that one below.
Yeah, and like it.
That's so ridiculous.
But
man.
then we ended up getting shadow banned because it was just too inappropriate on TikTok. So now we can't like. It was a weird month.
Yeah,
It didn't like blow up, but it
did something. It did something, and that's the interesting thing that TikTok. You're talking about volatility.
happened fast. There's no other way on earth I could drive 40,000 strangers in a day to my music. I don't know any other way.
Yeah.
Radio, Z100 would not do that.
Yeah, right.
Somehow TikTok is able to do that, where everyone's like, I came here from TikTok, like going bananas.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was
I get a lot of traction from TikTok, and it's awesome. So I mean, you can't argue its power.
Yeah.
Do you have? I know that you specifically, you're always more about the music. Always music.
Yeah,
first.
for sure.
So it would be odd to see you going on TikTok and doing the dances or anything.
Yeah,
like
that wouldn't be.
But do you have a? Yeah, that would. Yeah, exactly.
I downloaded TikTok a couple days ago and just like sang a song and did nothing. I mean, I have no idea what to do on TikTok. I just don't think it just doesn't make. I've thought really hard. Like, it's like, I know we've like talked about like running TikTok campaigns and stuff but like for me, it makes more sense to just invest in like Instagram and Spotify and Facebook, where the live, laugh, love moms are at.
Totally,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like 16-year-old girls are not listening to my music. It's just not.
Well, you know, and it's funny because I got involved in TikTok early on, right?
Oh, really?
I got involved in TikTok over a year and a half ago.
Was it Musical.ly then?
So Musical.ly, a friend of mine had told me to download Musical.ly, right? Or So
I don't know what it's called.
Yeah. So he was building a studio strictly to be able to teach music on Musical.ly. And so I would be able to like teach my guitar stuff on,
that's awesome.
on Musical.ly. I know we were in it's 3 blocks from my house. It was going to be such a cool idea. He goes, download it, get acquainted with it. Then, at the time, I was producing the Rock and Roll Time Machine show, and we had talked about social media and everything. At that point, it had become TikTok, and this guy that we were talking to, who works with influencers, had said, download TikTok and just get accustomed to it. I started putting up videos of me playing like Van Halen tunes and stuff like that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Dude, it started building up. And now, as of June, I stopped posting in June, I think. And I have somewhere in the ballpark of like 22,000 followers on there.
Wow.
But the thing is, though, that you have to find, it's much like anything else. You have to be consistent. If you want,
find the sweet spot and then just keep doing it over and over.
Dude, exactly. The consistency is the key. Even though TikTok is so volatile and things can blow up so easy, it's no different than early YouTube.
Interesting.
Right? We experienced that where we were the young kids.
Instagram was like that too. I'm friends with a lot of memers, and like back in the day, the algorithm was crazy where it's like a meme could just go bananas 4 years ago. Yeah. Now it's not like that at all.
It's not like that. And they want to see that you're putting in your time, almost it feels like. To more or less. And it sucks. It does really suck. The biggest problem for dudes like you that I can't stand about it is that the people who are talented and who are making their living don't look, they don't look talented and like they're making a living on TikTok. They look like just another person that's trying to scrounge by.
No, for sure. But it doesn't matter. I mean, who cares what percent? Who cares what 16-year-old girls think?
You're right. But I mean, dude, when I first went on there and started tagging things, putting hashtags up, I would hashtag, and it shows you the amount of people, like the amount of posts.
Oh, yeah. I just saw that the other day.
Well, so when you would hashtag, back when I started, the For You page tag would have like 500,000 on it.
What's it, 500 million now?
Dude, yeah, it's got to be billions now. It's got to be billions. It's mind-blowing how fast it went up. Now, outside, though, let's bring it back down to the real world from TikTok. Outside of Squiddies Tiddies.
Yes.
What's one of your favorite credits that you have?
Yeah, I think there's one that I'm really excited about, and I think it's just like this steady thing that's killing it. So this was a collab record I did with Chris Webby, and it was a song called Flawed. And it's called Flawed. I think it has like 7 million streams on Spotify right now. And it never like blew up, but I'm calling it now. It's on track to be Chris Webby's most popular song ever in the long run because it gains 3% every month. It doesn't stop. It went from doing 5,000 a day to 6,000 a day to now it's up to 17,000 a day, and it just keeps. It's like a year and a half old. And it just keeps going. And I always just thought it was just a really good song. And it's long. It's 5 minutes long, which is like unheard of for a song to stream well and be 5 minutes long.
Totally.
And I'm really proud of this one because I had that song in the vault for a while. So it's really more my song in terms of like why I creatively like it. I wrote that while I was on Atlantic for the Eminem revival. It was one of those Eminem albums that wasn't very good. So it was in his best interest to take it, but he didn't. And I had this guitar part, and it was the whole intro of the song, which is cool because like when you think of a rap song, you have verse, chorus, verse, chorus, verse, chorus, done. This whole song has a 1 minute intro where I'm singing, and it's not a verse, it's not a chorus, it's just me on the electric guitar just singing, and it's like all these chord changes are happening. And it leads into a verse, which is that just doesn't happen in music.
Yeah.
And so I had that intro, and I had like the exact guitar recorded and the exact vocals recorded for 5 years. And then finally I brought it to Chris Webby, and I said, hey, like if we can throw drums over these verse, which my friend JP helped out with, and we could write this song, and it could be a story song, and I had the whole concept of what the story was going to be and what each verse was going to be, and I had some lyrics already written, and I had a chorus melody, and I just kind of forced him to say. I called him at 11. I was like, this is going to happen. Like, we have to do it. This is one of the moments where I was just really stubborn and proud because a lot of people turned it down, and I was like, we have to do this. Like, this is just a no-brainer. Like, I'll give it to you on a silver platter, and we'll bring it home. And we brought it home. And we brought it home in one day, and yeah, and I think it's one of those. It's a sleeper song because like that album came out last year, and by a landslide was his most popular song on the album. But it was just so different, and I know it's gonna go gold in Canada in like a couple years. So like I think you're gonna see it rack up all these accolades over time.
Yeah,
it's the opposite of TikTok. Like it never is gonna do this. It's just doing this, and I think it's a testament that was just a good song and that we nailed. Like even the mix turned out really good. Like we just nailed what we had to do on it. And I think that's why it's my favorite, and that's why I play it at shows also. I play my part of shows.
Yeah.
Can't do the rap part very well.
It's like, that's one of those magic moments where everything just seems to line up, right?
Yeah, and it took 5 years, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was just such a funny thing because so many people told me they really didn't like it. And I thought, and I'm like, and I think the reason they didn't like it because they couldn't see the big vision. They just heard a guy singing over a guitar, and that they didn't really see anything else. And I'm like, I saw so much more.
Of course.
To the point where I was like, I have to manually force people to finish it in order to let people see the finish line. You know,
and that's that's an archetypal story.
Yeah.
Of creativity, of when you say to people, "Oh, I have a good idea." Nobody else thinks so.
Yeah, for sure.
To quote the SpongeBob Pretty Patties episode.
Nice.
You know? Yeah. To the point where you have the good idea, nobody else seems to think so, but you genuinely believe in it. I think Stan Lee even has a quote going on where
really
if you have a great idea and nobody thinks so, don't let some idiot stop you from doing it, right? And that's exactly. Of course. And you're proud. Yeah. And you're proud of it. Now you have the credentials to back it up. This is not. Let's say it does go.
Well, I was also very lucky where I had the system to finish it. Whereas like I had the artist who I was super close with, who I knew could bring it home, and then I had the co-producer who I was close with, who I knew could bring it home. Yeah. So I had all the people at my disposal where I just like told them, and then I think within people you're close with, you have that one or two cards. You're like, you're gonna have to just listen to me on this.
Yeah,
and just
you totally do. You're gonna play the friend card.
So it's like I had to be like, you have to just do this, and that's just the way it's gonna be.
And you have that network. That's huge.
The network was there, and I chose my this is how it's going to be moment. That was the one time I chose it, and I'm very glad I chose it on that moment.
Yeah, I don't blame you on that one. Now, that wouldn't, if that does go gold, that won't be your first gold.
No, that'll be my first one in Canada. It actually won't be my first in Canada. Me and Chris have another song called The Stick Up, which is, that song has a ton of streams. It has like 22 million streams on Spotify alone. And according to, he's very popular in Canada, so the ratio will be, once it hits like 40 million streams on Spotify, it'll go gold in Canada. So that's like a year and a half away. Wow. And then the same ratio will be for Flawed. So Flawed's only at 7 million now, but once it hits 40, like I said, they're steady stocks. So every time me and Chris have a song together that goes 40 million on Spotify, it'll probably go gold in Canada. But then I have a song called Dance with Darkness, which is gold in Switzerland. Yes. And that's an interesting case because that doesn't have huge numbers. Cumulatively, it has like 10 million streams, which I'm proud of for sure. But it, like 2.7 of them are all in Switzerland, which is kind of the equivalent of like 2.7 million streams all being in New Jersey. You know what I mean?
Wow, okay.
It's just hyper focused. I'm really pumped right now. I just saw this analytic yesterday. I have this song called 28, which I put out on September 11th.
My birthday.
Oh, is it? Nice. Yeah. I was like, great day. I was like, horrible day. My great day.
Yeah, my birthday.
September 11th. So I put out a song on September 11th called 28, and it only has like 200,000 streams right now on Spotify. But I'm very happy to see that 9 of the top 10 cities are all in Italy.
Oh, no way.
So I might have another. So that means it's viral in Italy right now, which is very random.
Gonna have to make a trip.
Yeah, I know. The second quarantine's over. So I'm doing the math right now. I'm like, if it can gain steam in Italy, it might take years, but we'll get something there. Assuming it does. It probably won't.
You heard it here, folks. We are announcing the Skrizzly Adams Italian tour.
It's Italian, dude. I would go for an Italian tour. Italian food. That'd
be
my sick.
God. You come back 1,000 pounds.
Pounds heavier. Oh my God. I'm probably not coming back.
Yeah, I know, right? I know.
Well, the funny thing is, I've had a handful of like Italian fans since day one, and like Italy is a really tough nut to crack because like Italy doesn't mess with like Western world culture because Italy's like Italy has its own thing. Yeah. I don't even know what that own thing is, but it's sure as hell doesn't sound like me. They have their own thing going on, whereas like
you find that in a lot of countries.
A lot of Europe loves Americana and they love American culture and they love Italy's like we don't Italy's like, we have better shit. We don't care.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it happened to me. It actually happened to me. Oh, damn. I guess it really just started on September 11th, where I don't know who this person is. And if you were a listening person, like you are the man. Some guy at Spotify Italy just started like hooking it up. And
Wow.
I don't know why. I don't have any logic. So the 28's on this, like I'm just going to say now. I mean, it's ridiculous. 28's on this playlist called Life is Beautiful, but it's in Italian, so I don't know what that means.
Okay.
Let me put it this way. This is not a new music playlist. This is not a small artist playlist.
Really?
Every single song on here is it's just like hot AC. It's just like hot AC hits. It's like Jason Mraz, I'm Yours. Like
Wow.
Taylor Swift, Shake It Off. Like
you're on a now that's what I call music Italy.
Yeah, but of the last 20 years of just like great white people music, you know what I mean? It's just like drops of just like Drops of Jupiter by Train. Trying to think of just the Good Riddance by Green Day, and it's like all these songs are like multi-platinum hits.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, like all of them have well over 100 million streams, and there's like 30 songs on it. And then this guy just did me the biggest favor ever. I'm sure his boss doesn't see it. I hope his boss doesn't see it.
Yeah,
he just put my song smack dab in the middle of it. And because of that, it's just going rampant in Italy.
But now that wasn't, again, back to the point, that wasn't an accident. That was consistency.
Okay, yes, oh, for sure.
That was you working constantly and tirelessly. You're don't stop, bro.
And I will say, and with the consistency on that, and then what happened, I put out another song in November, in November last month, November 6th. And what happened again? 2 playlists in Italy. So it's like, whereas if I didn't release something for a year, I think the Italian guy probably would have forgot about me. Totally. I have another song coming out in December 18th. Maybe my Italian guy will show me love again. Yeah, man. Because like we keep just showing up to the dance together, and he keeps scratching my back, and I keep scratching his. You know. Totally,
exactly, and you just keep going. Once you have something good, it's the same thing. The social media, any social media that you're going to be on, anytime you're releasing anything, consistency. You know what I mean? Because like honestly, like people spend so much time trying to get that one song perfect for their entire life. You know, and it doesn't. And it's
not that that song didn't deserve it. That's like the major label mentality, where like we're gonna get 3 singles, we're gonna make them perfect, we're gonna spend a ton of money on it, and it's like, I hate to say this, but sometimes the quality of the song doesn't matter, at least in the short run. Where it's like timing. Like timing is everything. Yeah. Where it's like, so just how Spotify works is like you're given a score. The score is like from 84 different elements, but it's like the first 100 people that listen to your song are like. And like, if none of the 100 people save it, you're screwed.
Wow.
If 50 of those people save it, you're set. Like, wow. So it's like those people like it's just, that's why having a fan base is really helpful out the gate, because it's like everyone go listen to the song and they're gonna be like, saved it, added it to my playlist, like whatever. Whereas like a new artist who has nothing, like I will say this, like a lot of people like pay a good amount of money to get like their songs put on these like playlists where they really don't fit, which is also illegal, and they do that, and it's like, yeah, you just got 100,000 streams, but your score is terrible because no one on that playlist liked the song.
Interesting.
So actually, yes, you got 100,000 streams, but after that, guess what? Boom, nothing's gonna happen.
Wow, that's some seriously useful information right there for anyone. Dude, I didn't even know that. Like, and I'll have.
Yeah. So at the bottom, that's a testament to just like keeping an authentic communication between your listener and like being real is like super important.
Yeah, that's
so huge. I think like don't mess with beefing up your stats unless like it's already on fire. That's all I'll say.
Wow, that's huge. I'm gonna cut that out and put that whole section somewhere else, because that was gorgeous, man. But
but think about it in real life too. It's like if you go play a show in front of like if you play a polka show at a bar band, no one's gonna like it.
Yeah.
But if you play like a Van Halen cover set at like the dive bar, those 30 people are going to tell all their friends. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Totally. You got to give them what they want. You have to keep up. If it's something you love and you want to keep it up, and give them what they want.
Totally.
Where does now that was a massive segue, but I feel like your life is a lot of segues for something that's so consistent. Where does beef jerky fit into all of this?
So I'll say in quarantine times, beef jerky is like my So I sell beef jerky to those who don't know. That's like my
The
thing. But like
Skrizzly beef jerky will also have a link below.
Yeah, we'll have a link below. But right now, beef jerky is like my my. So I've really kind of delved into the merch games. I mean, as hard as I can, and without being shameless. And I'm thankful that everyone has been buying stuff. We've been getting sales every day, and I'm really pumped about that. I package everything up every morning myself and sign it myself.
Jeez, the hustle, bro.
The hustle's crazy. I'll be honest. I really don't enjoy packaging up stuff. The second I can have a warehouse, I will.
Everyone, stop ordering.
No, please.
Reverse psychology.
Okay. But I will say, right now, jerky is just like my leveraging tactic. I've been doing sales where I just throw in free bags of jerky. So if you want a vinyl, if you buy a vinyl, like what I think I did Black Friday. Black Friday, you get 2 free bags of jerky with every order. I think what's after Black Friday? Small Business Saturday, free shot glass with every order. So I'm really
you're like a Gene Simmons, bro.
Yeah, no, my dude. I was joking about that. I was like with a friend. So I'm Jewish, so no one be offended by this. But like, hear me out. But I was like joking about. I was with a friend and his girlfriend, and we were talking about Kiss, and we're like, man, like Kiss is such a funny band. At the end of the day, like, first off, they're not very good. They've really simple, great songs, but they're not very good. But sweet Jesus, merchandising. Geniuses, dude. Geniuses. Like
Gene Simmons puts the gene in genius.
Gene Simmons. And I was just like, and then I was joking about, I was like, they all are like hardcore Jews from Brooklyn who were just like kind of ugly, so they put makeup on.
Yeah.
And they're
ugly as hell.
They're not good looking dudes. So like, we're gonna put pyrotechnics and makeup on, and that's gonna carry the show. But then I was like, wait a sec. Obviously, they're merchandising geniuses. They're raging Jews from Brooklyn. Like,
yeah, you totally.
That's why I'm like heavy on the merchandising. Like,
dude, I don't
merchandising. That's a business. Merchandising.
You've seen Spaceballs,
yeah,
right?
of course.
Merchandising.
Merchandising's everything, dude.
Yeah, man. And
I'm looking to expand more. We're gonna vamp up some more stuff. And
I love seeing the stuff that you sell, because it is actually stuff that people want to buy, which I think is brilliant. Putting your name all over it. The Skrizzly's beef jerky. I think so. The beef jerky company's been around before even the music.
No, like the same time.
Okay.
That was like the second I got into music, I'm like, we need to simultaneously get into beef jerky.
That's hilarious.
And that was also one of those that was against like everyone else. Was like, maybe we should focus on selling records first. And I'm like, yeah, let's focus on selling jerky too. At a certain point, we were making more money off jerky than we were off music for sure.
Yeah.
Because I will say, at the end of the day, like even down to like the DIY kind of like punk mentality of playing shows and traveling and backyards and stuff. When people are drunk, people are hungry, and
you're the guy who showed up.
I'm just simple as that. Like it would sell. I remember we sold like $1,500 worth of beef jerky as an opening act in a show in Minnesota, and I was like, you can't beat this. Like, you really can't beat this.
Sick, man. See, that's amazing.
And like lines out there, and then everyone's standing around the venue just eating beef jerky. The venue's pissed, but I'm winning. Right? I'm winning.
Yeah, exactly, and that's all that matters. And I remember when I was on Warped Tour in 2012, there was a beef jerky company, which I will call your competitor. I don't know who it was. I don't remember. Yeah,
there's a lot now.
Yeah, there is a lot. I know, but I don't even know who it was at the time. And we got free beef jerky every day. And I remember after I had met you, thinking like, this cat's onto something, because there's something there.
It's a very basic supply and demand. Also, like, jerky's not a very big it's more males buy the product more than females. Yeah. But I've sold it to, I've sold so much jerky to females. Like, so I've definitely hit an untapped market where it's like in the moment, they're drunk, it's funny, and they're hungry. It serves like 3 purposes all at once.
And I think you have a hidden gem right there where it's like, okay, the girls are going to bring their boyfriends to your show, right? And the boyfriends need something to do while they're there. Sure. So they're going to need to man up a little bit, and they eat the beef jerky.
Totally. Yeah, no, I'm currently working, so I haven't done much product development. I actually haven't done any product development. I just order like thousands at a time and then just sell them.
Christ.
But I'm gonna like really like revamp the packaging, and I'm gonna go in on it relatively soon. I'm kind of just selling off the stock I have now. That's why I'm like giving them away for free all the time. But yeah, I haven't thought about it much. I'm glad you brought it up. It's like one of those things that just kind of sells. But also, just for those tuning in, like we have vinyl now, and it's my first vinyl for my debut album, Young Man. So check that out. I have signed versions, and I do personal messages on the back, and I ship them internationally. So
cool. Where's everyone able to find all that?
Go to www.skrizzlyadams.com, skrizzlyadams.com.
Cool. I'll put all the links. I'll definitely put all the links below.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, of course. And now, as far as as far as the where people can go and find you, it's obviously Spotify. You've recently been on Apple Music now, right?
Yeah. Well, just growing on Apple Music. I want to give a big shout out to people at Spotify. Have been supporting me for a while. Apple Music is now supporting me, and Amazon has been supporting me for like 2 years now. Big shout out to Amazon. I really appreciate that. Also on like Tidal and Deezer, and I'm working on getting support from them too. On YouTube as well. Everything's just at Skrizzly Adams. Search it. You're not gonna just, there's no other one than me.
As easy as that to find that.
Yeah.
Oh man, dude, I can't tell you enough how much I appreciate this and the fact that you came on to talk about this, because I think you're going to give a lot of inspiration to up and coming cats who are in their house right now, trapped. Like, how do I do this? And I think you have a really great, great story, and like, yeah, exactly. And that's
consistency. Like, just do it. Do it over and over again. Dude, I appreciate it, man. I'll come back anytime. Seriously.
Dude, it'd be so great to have you back. Ladies and gentlemen, this was the Working Class Musician YouTube channel. I'm Jimmy Franklin. Who are you?
Skrizzly Adams.
And that is Skrizzly Adams, my friend. Check out all the links below. We will catch you guys next time. Thank you so much.